Good morning, everyone. Saturday, the start of a weekend, and it's a bit grey and overcast here in the Sable d'Olonne and quite cool. So I hope you're having a good day wherever you are. And a few interesting things happening here with weather yesterday, or late yesterday. First of all, let's look at the leaderboard anyway. I think most people know what's going on. Simon's in the lead, did 151 nautical miles yesterday, pretty good. Kirsten, 137, not quite as far. And Abelish 145, Michael Goog 116, so it goes. Jeremy 112, and then Ian 122, 23, and Elliot 92. Guy Waite 74, so that's about it. And Arnaud heading north, it'll all be screwed up. You know, he's gone 60 miles backwards, but we know that. So just looking here, Arnaud's well on his way. We had a good chat with him on the phone yesterday. Hard decision, but as he said, once he's made the decision, quite relaxed and not frustrated anymore. It took quite a while to come to that conclusion, on what was the best option to do. And it's a combination of, I think the main one is, for now anyway, it was his rigging issues, which is still an issue going up to St. Helena, and barnacles are to the fore as well. So not a good combination. Anyway, he's on his way, and he's done an amazing job. It's a little boat, one of the slowest in the fleet, I suppose. We knew that at the beginning, and he gave it a good shot. So Guy, frustrated with winds now. The barnacles are still there, but he's only doing 2.3 knots, or 2.7 knots rather. I'm just going to build this up in size now so we get a bit of a better look. Not going anywhere fast again, and it might be like that for a while. Yesterday was really frustrating for us and Ian and Elliot. I don't know whether you were watching what was happening with the weather. We did give them a weather alert about some potential strong winds, and they were right on the cusp of a system that was forming around them and and against them. So you had a situation where 20 miles, 30 miles distance, and you've got virtually 5 knots wind, and then you've got 35 knots, just around the corner. And we'd given them a weather alert, the system slowed down, and they didn't know what was going on, and at least they were aware that there was some heavy weather coming. So anyway, they got through that. It's now gone past, and it may start to impact Jeremy shortly, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. So, the system's settling down. Ian's doing 3.9 knots in the last 4 hours. This position just rolled over. He was doing a bit more prior to that. And Elliot doing 5.7 knots. At least he's got something like favourable winds. He was getting super frustrated. So hopefully that holds for a while. So let's just look at the next couple of days for these guys at the back. This is 24 hours time. Guy's still got very light winds. And Ian and Elliot, a bit of a mixed bag. They'll be along a bit, but it's certainly not full on yet, but it might be. It's coming up from the back here, so we'll go forward another day to the 5th. Next day, they're going to be frustrated again. At least Guy will have some breeze coming up. So Ian and Elliot still frustrated with the light winds here. So going to be a slow couple of days by the look, and we'll go forward one more day. Here we go. Yeah, they're still going to be there, not quite happening. Anyway, that's no big storms or anything coming for them. So we'll come back to real-time weather now, see how many we can get across here. The fleet's still spread out a bit. Jeremy's... hang on, at least we'll get the tail enders here. Not the tail enders, we'll get the... we won't get Simon, he's right up the front here. Oh, maybe we will. Nope, not quite. So we'll just focus on the tail end here. Kirsten's 7.8 knots. She's been influenced strongly in Abolish now too by the northwesterlies. It was sort of forecast 30-35-ish, or 30, or just over 30. So they would have been getting gusts of up into the 40s. We didn't give them a weather alert because it was on the edge, and we don't do it every time, like it's specific, but they would have seen this coming and having a big ride there. So plenty of speed, plenty of sea. Let's have a look at the waves. Be up around 5 metres, I reckon. Yeah, on the edge. So that's sort of fours for, maybe gusting, maybe building higher than that, occasional fives on this, but it's going to be backing off a little bit as well. So bringing back here, Captain Goog 4.9. He's missed this hole at the moment, but he hasn't been making huge ground. And Jeremy's doing 6.2, enjoying the ride there. So as we'll just pick this up, you'll see this system start to move away, and they'll come into a southwesterly flow here. Goog, we're not sure, and this big wind over the back is going to come up and affect Jeremy. There's a fair bit of wind there. I'll look at that on windy shortly. It stayed high. It was meant to be moving down a bit further, but that looks like it's going to be into 35 knots, gusting higher there for Jeremy, and that's by midnight tonight. So Captain Goog's going to start sailing. Let's go across here to tomorrow. No, hang on a sec. This is tomorrow night. We'll go into the 5th. Okay, so that's onto the 5th, and it's all gone straight away. All the systems are moving quite fast, which is good to see. By then, Jeremy should be up here. Goog will be sailing well. Kirsten and Abelish will be sailing. The big one there, they were meant to slow down while Simon went roaring ahead. He's right close to the zone here at the moment. I'm just going to roll this back and have a bit of a play here to see what goes. This will determine. I'm scrolling this through now, so you can see this wind coming over Jeremy. Simon's going to start speeding up. He's got a bit heavier wind. He's just going to go right on the edge of that, which we knew. We predicted that yesterday. But he doesn't want to get any closer to the zone, so he's going to be cutting across the waves there, swells and seas, to try and stay away. He should know where he is. And then this is where Abelish and Kirsten are going to slow down. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's going to be quite a while. It's not quite a day, probably 18 hours of not much wind, where Simon is keep moving, and the back markers will keep moving. Abelish is not in it as long, so Kirsten might miss out here. This is on the 5th, and then Simon, he's going to be, depends where he is. If he holds down there, he'll be less impacted than if he's up a bit higher, so he might get away with it. Keep moving. That's onto the 5th. So there might be a bit of a gain for Simon coming through there. Certainly he'll be having some excitement right now as he's going through. So anyway, Jeremy, so there's a bit of a mixed bag there, but at least this group is going to keep sailing forward. So that's all pretty good. I think that's a pretty quick one, but that's really about it. The big one will be just to see. The challenge with these systems is that they can actually change direction and speed and intensity as well, and this was the one that was quite confusing. It's starting to get a bit more organised. It was confusing when it was over Elliot and Ian. It was impossible to predict. They were right on top of it, remembering of course that even this computer graphic might not be true to form, because there's not a lot of information. It might be another 100 miles to the east or north or wherever, and then the actual shape. This is getting a bit organised, so the shape's a bit more predictable. But when it was over Elliot and Ian, God, it was just nuts. It was really challenging to try and work out what's going on. So I'm just for my own interest, if nothing else, I'm going to just scroll this through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Previously, this was heading down and wasn't going to impact that much. 9, 10, 11, 12. So in about 12 hours, Jeremy's going to be in the thick of it. From the north, he'll get pushed south for sure, but then it'll swing around, and it's not swinging violently. You'll see it's coming around to the west. There's northwest there. Then it's going to slowly swing around to the southwest. So that will definitely create two types of seas, but it won't be a sudden sort of change. When that happens, you can get 3 or 4 hours of very dangerous seas. So it's not too bad. And Goog's going to get that ride, so that's all pretty cool. Kirsten's going to be very frustrated there for a while, going nowhere. And let's see what happens to Simon. But he is very close to the edge. Let's just see what's happening here. Clouds, he's under cloud, but he knows he's been working that in his own way. We'll just come up here to come back to wind, and we'll do a distance measure. I'll get him up big first, and let's see how close he really is. Boom, boom. Okay, so he's there, and we're down here. Yeah, he's only 30 miles away, so half a degree. Getting close, but he knows what he's doing, and all is well on the tracker for now. So, okay, that's really about it. Have a good day, and we'll see you